Welcome in episode number 105 of the St0ner Sports Radio Podcast. We're back. I'm back from Columbus. It was an experience. I'll have the vlog up on the channel soon. We will recap week 5 as well. John Mateer is going to probably start on the 11th against Texas. We'll talk Dr. Shin and what he's done for the OU athletic program. St0ner Sportsbook, baby. We are in trouble, and we'll give you some final thoughts, talk NFL, and more. Joining me once again in this Red River Shootout weekend is Zach Huffman. It's known by no other name on this podcast, I'll tell you that much.
We're doing great. Dr. Shin might be the best doctor in the world. I'm talking Michael Jordan. I'm talking maybe LeBron James. I'm talking LeBron James level of doctors. I'm talking Tom Brady as a doctor. This guy, he specializes in hands. He specializes in wrists. He fits J-Dub. He fits Kobe. He's gonna fix me. He's gonna fix me. He's gonna fix our team. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Michael Hawkins looked bad. I'm gonna say it. I'll say it. I don't know if I have to be the one to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Michael Hawkins Jr. looked really, really bad against Kent State. And I'm talking about Kent State. Yeah, we won 44-0, whatever the fuck. You know, it's Kent State. I don't care about that. But he was overthrowing guys, he was underthrowing guys, and simply put, he got lucky on a few throws. So that's how I feel about Dr. Shin making sure that John Mateer was back for this Texas game. Now it's a question of, well, what happens if we lose this? Do we still get the John Mateer injury excuse? Do we get the, do we fall far in the rankings for losing to an unranked Texas? I don't know. I don't think so. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I think that would be kind of interesting to see kind of where you land if that were to be the case. I don't think the punishment would be too bad. I don't even think you should theoretically fall out of the top 10. You lose this game just because of probably those casual people looking at that and being able to be like, well, he probably wasn't 100%, so let's not, put all the eggs in one basket or whatever. But yeah, so I think that overall, I don't think they're going to punish you that much. And I think they would use that injury as an excuse for sure. But who doesn't have an excuse, Zach, is the victims of week 5. Do you want to go over week 5 here? Let's start with the obvious one. We were kind of keeping an eye on this one. Virginia and Florida State. It looked bad early on, and in the end, Virginia gets the job done. 46-38, big time win for the Cavaliers. Arizona State, TCU, 27-24, unranked Arizona State over ranked TCU. And then Houston 27-24 over Oregon State. That one almost an upset. Oregon State could not get it done at home. You want to dive into Virginia, Florida State, and just kind of what you thought about the Cavaliers pulling that thing off at home?
Yeah, for sure. First, I'm gonna have to turn off my camera here. I think it's gonna help my internet connection. Things are not looking great right now, but I'm just gonna turn the camera off. We're gonna see what happens. I think it might get better if this is the case. um, but yeah, if we're talking about Virginia, Florida State, I mean, I didn't get to turn that game on until late, but I mean, what a game, I guess. I mean, they lose 46-38, or Florida State loses to Virginia 30 or 46-38 in double overtime. Um, tough game, tough game. That's in Virginia. Um, I don't know if there's much to say about it. I mean, we kind of had an eye on it because we knew Virginia had talent, but they just weren't showcasing it very well. I think they had lost to, who was it, Syracuse already, or was it Stanford already this year? So I wasn't too hyped on Virginia going into the game, although it was kind of like a upset watch, kind of game, it being at home. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think
it was NC State who they lost to. NC State beat them.
Florida State, and then they beat Louisville the week after. So
Yeah, so Virginia not bad, not bad. What did you think of the Arizona State TCU game? Because Arizona State, they were supposed to be the big boys in the Big 12, and they get a big win at home against a ranked TCU team. I mean, is this something that's going to launch Arizona State into some positive, vibes as they head into a tough game this next week?
I mean, I think you have to think so, right? It's going to help with the vibes going into. Who are they playing this week?
This week for Week 7, you have the University of Arizona State. They are going to play Utah at 9:15 p.m. on the
Utah.
road. On the road, baby.
Okay.
4-1 against 4-1. That's what we got matched up for tomorrow night.
Well, my thing about Florida State is, or not Florida State, Arizona State is like there's a lot of what we saw last year, coming back to fruition. Obviously, Cam Scatabo is just a huge loss for Arizona State, losing him to the NFL, but we'll talk about him in a minute. Elite game against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll say it. I'll say it. We're back. We're back. We've never been more back. But Arizona State quarterback Sam Levitt, 291 yards and two touchdowns. To Jordan Tyson, 126 yards, two touchdowns. Great against TCU. I think they came out guns blazing just like they should have been this entire season. I think Arizona State does have a chance to win the Big 12.
Yeah, I think
I didn't
this.
think I was saying that earlier in the year, and I think this game proved that they still have a lot of the same talent they had last season.
Yeah, and I think this game against Utah will be another good measuring stick for them. I know Utah got their absolute hammers smashed in um, by the Red Raiders, but I think that this is a completely different animal in Arizona State, so we'll see how that game goes for the Sun Devils on the road. Dipping into kind of the top 25, Ohio State beat Washington 24-6. Not really anything to report there. Very efficient game for Julian Sayin, 22 of 28 for 208 and two touchdowns. Anything you want to add on to this, or is that just kind of a no-brainer and move on to the next one?
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Move on to the next one thing. I mean, there's not much to say besides the fact that Julian might be a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, very,
Um,
very possible.
and and other than that, they're the best team in the country. I don't think it's really a toss-up. I don't know. It might be Oregon. Honestly, we'll get to them in a second, but
Yeah,
I think it's Ohio State and Oregon at the top for me. Miami did not look as good as I wanted them to. I'll say it.
Yeah, we'll touch on that as well. LSU loses to Ole Miss on the road by 5. Big game. Brian Kelly shows up in a big way and takes a giant deuce in his own pants at the
Yep.
Grove. Um, I don't know what to say about this other than you got beat by Ole Miss's backup quarterback. This wasn't even their starter. It just shouldn't have happened, right? I mean, it's just you just can't let this happen if you're supposed to be the number 4 team in the country at the time. And once again, Brian Kelly just shits his pants. Is that what I can take from this?
Yes, I also take. I think Lane Kiffin is starting to coach himself into wins. And I don't think that's something we've seen in previous seasons as much as I've started to see it this season. So obviously last season they have Jackson Dart, which helps them immensely just throughout the entire season with the offense. But now I think Lane Kiffin is starting to be able to develop guys like his backups to go in there and get wins over big opponents. Um, I think that is just as true or has just as much weight as the fact that Brian Kelly is just a terrible, terrible big game coach and probably always will be. Um, I will say, Ole Miss, they came out swinging in terms of the the war on the internet that occurs before the game. Lots and lots of um, jokes about the risers to film the football games.
Oh yeah,
or the football practices, the things they stand on. You know,
yeah,
lots of signs about those regarding. It was a
yeah,
nasty, it was a nasty war,
yeah. Nasty work. Yeah, nasty work.
nasty exchange of content in the marketplace of ideas there.
Oh, absolutely
Um,
vile. Oh,
but yeah, I mean, fuck Brian Kelly. What do you think?
yeah. No, I think that's exactly right. I think you hit the nail on the head there. And I think Stillwater is calling Lane Kiffin. I think you have to pick up the phone, at least try. He's gonna say no, but
He's
I
not
mean,
picking up the
but
phone.
he's picking up the phone now. He's coaching into wins. It's time. It's time.
I mean,
Give it.
let's touch on this for a second. Actually, let's touch on this for a second. Actually, realistically, who is the best coach you think Oklahoma State could get?
Like,
I think it's Kurt Sidnetti.
ooh, I was gonna say John Gruden.
He's going to Arkansas.
Ooh, okay. I mean, he isn't.
That's what
He
I would
he
want.
he
But
loves the SEC, so that wouldn't surprise me. But
yeah,
no,
I would want him at Arkansas.
yeah, if that's a possibility, then yeah, I think he probably wins. I think they win that one out. So I think other than that, I mean, Kurt Yeti is a good one because that wasn't even on my board in my head.
Oh no, you want Sidnetti. I think everyone wants Sidnetti. I mean, it's obvious that he's the only reason that that team is where they're at.
Yeah.
I don't think that's questioned.
Do you call Art Briles?
No.
All right, that's I mean, I
Yeah,
really.
you don't call him.
Okay. All right, well, fair enough. Um.
I'm sure him and Mike Gundy are good buds though.
Oh, yeah, they probably are really. Um. Yeah, no, I think that's a really good. I think that's a really good one. I mean, I still think the best coach that they're going to probably get is GJ Kinney. I really do think that he's probably the guy. Um, but yeah, Dream. I think if that's on the board, then yeah, because the other guys that I have in mind are just so off the table, like it's not even close. But at least Kurt Yeti is like something I can sit here and go, yeah, that seems pretty plausible. And I could see that
I mean, what do you
happening.
think about like maybe not as like Zach Robinson? Maybe I mean you might be able to get Ben Arbuckle.
Yeah, I
I
mean
don't know
that
if
was
that's kind of
yeah.
a swing. That's a swing though. I don't
Yeah,
know if
it's a swing. You'd have, I mean,
you can get
them.
that.
You'd have to give him, I think, a pretty good contract, and I think that, I mean, I don't know what his confidence level is as far as being able to be that guy yet. I don't know if he's ready for that. He might
Do
end
you
it.
look do you look to you know, out of work NFL coaches? Do you look to a Mike McCarthy? Do you look, um, like you said, to a
Jason
John
Garrett,
Gruden?
baby. I want Jason Garrett.
I wouldn't mind actually. I actually would not mind Jason Garrett in college just for
I
the air raid.
yeah, I think that would actually be that might be my
And kids, if you don't know, Jason Garrett used to coach the Cowboys.
yeah. If you don't remember, folks.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta remember that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, he also quarterbacked them too.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I think those are probably the two. I think those are probably um Alabama beat Georgia, Zach. I mean, I didn't really see this one coming. I thought Georgia was gonna handle business here, but they shut out Alabama in the second half, Zach, but it didn't matter, which is kind of concerning
yeah.
if you're a Georgia fan, right?
I mean, I think it's concerning if you're a Georgia fan. I also think it's concerning if you're an Alabama fan.
Because you've seen the high and the lows.
You did a couple of excellent big plays, early in the game. And then, you get into that second half and Georgia's starting to make you look pretty bad.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt about it. Um, but I mean, I don't know how surprised I am. It's one of those things. It's like OU in Texas, where it's like Alabama, Georgia is probably a better rivalry to me than Alabama, Auburn. I'll say it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's kind of at the point right now where Alabama just kind of owns Georgia. I mean, I think what he's like Kirby Smart's like 1-7 against Alabama.
1-6
It's
now,
just
I think. I
not a
think
good look.
yeah, I think 1-6.
Yeah, like I think it's one. Yeah, I made 1-6 and 1-7 because
Yeah,
he loses to them a lot, and obviously last year they win, but like doesn't really mean much to me, with that Alabama team.
yeah.
So I think Alabama is starting to get back to being Alabama. I guess is what I take away from this. But they're still a long way away from being, contender level to me. I think they are SEC title game ish range for me. I think they'll be in the college football playoff. I think they'll win the college football playoff game, but I
Okay,
don't think that they're in my like top four.
okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. I can see that. Um, Texas A&M 16-10 over Auburn. This one came down to kind of the last moments. I was not particularly impressed with A&M considering this was a home game for them. I really thought that this was going to be one of those where the eye test was going to be in favor of the Aggies, and I came away thinking Auburn was a little bit better than I thought. I mean, what was your takeaway?
Um, Bad offense. It's kind of how I'm feeling about Texas A&M. I mean, I think that defense is elite, run game is elite, passing attack not that great. It's very similar to how I feel about OU. Passing attack is great, defense is great, run game nowhere to be found. Marcellus Reed is like a good game manager, but he just isn't wowing me yet, and he's just not doing anything in terms of you know willing his team to a win. So I'm still seeing 2 or 3 losses in A&M schedule.
Yeah, I mean that's probably reality for sure. Um, Indiana 20-15 over Iowa on the road, a late touchdown by Fernando Mendoza with a minute 28 to go to put
Heisman.
Indiana on another streak for a W. You see Heisman contender Fernando Mendoza. I mean, this was not a very impressive win, but
Yeah.
it was a must win for Indiana to remain legitimate in not only other team in the Big Ten's eyes, but people around the country's eyes. Was that kind of your takeaway as well from it?
Yeah, I think so. I still don't think Indiana's like super threatening to me. I just don't think that they
No.
have the talent,
Yeah.
defensively for me. But God damn, he's a good coach. Kurt Cignetti's a good coach, man. He's a good coach. I think you give him that. I think you give him the budget. Oh man, I think it could be dangerous. But I still think that Cincinnati's going to be somewhere else in a year or two. So,
Yeah. Good.
but in terms of right now, they look good.
Oh yeah. No.
Offense looks good.
Right. Um, the offense looked real good for Iowa State against Arizona, 39-14 at home over the Wildcats, even though Fafita was the top quarterback, 32 of 48, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns. Um, this was more about, really shutting down the scoring opportunities for the Arizona Wildcats. Racked up a lot of yards, but didn't get a lot of points, Zach. Um, Iowa State, are we still looking at a team that Big 12 opponents should be circling on their calendar as Big 12 championship caliber competition?
Not gonna lie, you lagged a little bit there, man. I was like, I couldn't hear a lot of that.
Oh, I was just saying, do you think Iowa State is still a team other Big 12 teams look at right now as a top Big 12 championship contending team, even though they're pretty much just doing what they're supposed to this point? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I think I caught most of that. So I mean, Iowa State, yeah, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Not, I don't know. I mean, I guess we're not talking about week 6 yet, but um, they look good against Arizona. Yeah, Rocco has looked good in even games that they've lost. So I think that's promising for his future. Um, Not much to say other than that. I mean, I like Matt Campbell. Maybe that's another guy you go after if you're Oklahoma State. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, he's definitely on the list. Tennessee over Mississippi State, 41-34. Zach, this one was exciting to watch. Really up and down the field
Yeah, it was.
kind of football game. Um, Felt more like a retro Pac-10 game than it did a SEC, game really. Um, I just, I came away from this saying, Tennessee needed overtime to get this. Jeff Lebby seems to be cooking a little bit down there in Starkville. But I just came away thinking Tennessee's defense wasn't that great.
Yeah, I think the defense definitely has concerns. You give up, 34 points to Mississippi State, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, to the running back. I mean, defense needs to tighten up. Defense needs to tighten up. If they want a chance in the SEC, I think that has to happen. I'm not huge on Tennessee just yet. I think Aguilar is obviously pretty good. He had 335 and a touchdown,
Yeah,
leading the comeback against Mississippi State. But it's pretty embarrassing that you had to come back against Mississippi State.
exactly.
Um, let's talk about Jeff Lebby. Jeff Lebby is a great offensive coach, and I think that's obvious. But that defense has to get better, and I got to spend the money for that. I don't know if Mississippi State has the money for that is the
Uh,
problem, but I think Jeff Lebby is showing that he can, you know, coach an offense against a team that's supposed to be elite, defensively, a team that's supposed to be an SEC defense, and I don't know. Maybe this says a lot more about the Tennessee defense than it does about the Mississippi State offense. But I still, love me some Jeff Lebby when it comes to, calling an offense.
yeah, seems to be working out pretty well for the Cowbells down there in Starkville. Um, Georgia Tech, another team that needed overtime to beat Wake Forest. This is kind of worse in my opinion, Zach, than Tennessee, Mississippi State. I mean, Wake Forest is not good. And Georgia Tech, you
Yeah,
can't
it's
be
bad. That's a bad,
you
bad
can't be
win.
going into overtime with the Demon Deacons on the road. It's just you just can't do it. You allow their halfback to go buku bananas crazy for 21 carries, 119 and 2 scores. I mean, Haynes King, can you blame him for this? No turnovers, but only one touchdown. You got to be better than one touchdown against a team like Wake Forest.
I
It's
don't know
just
if that's him or if that's
it's
his. I
yeah.
don't know.
It's just bad. It's just
The
bad all
rest
the
of
way
his team
around.
played like shit, man. I think he might be the only reason that they won that game. I
Yeah,
mean, Haynes King
yeah.
is he's
That's
kind of
why.
carrying
That's
them.
what
I
I
mean,
said. You couldn't
it's
blame him. You can't blame him. It's not his fault. I mean, sure, the
yeah.
air the production on the air is not great, but I mean, maybe he had a couple rushing touchdowns. It doesn't show it here on this. Not gonna, but still, I mean, this is one of those Georgia Tech fans. It's like, boy, you got lucky because you lose this game. Oh yeah, we're shitting on you the rest of the year. I mean, nothing you do is legitimate for us. If
Yeah,
you
it's
lose
over.
if you lose this game, we respect from us to you is donezo, baby. Um, Speaking of respect, Vandy. Respect to the Commodores. They dispatch of the Utah State Aggies at home by 20. Nothing really to say there. They set themselves up for a very good start, confidence wise, against Alabama for Week 6. Missouri over UMass. Nothing to report there. 42-6 shellacking from the Tigers. Prebula 241 yards a score and only 3 incompletions. 6 of 29. Let's move on to this Illinois USC game, Zach. USC
Yep.
favored in this one. They're on the road in Champaign, and they just couldn't get it done. They lose by 2. Had a chance to get it done, and really the numbers offensively for this Lincoln Riley team are vintage Lincoln Riley offensive numbers. But it looked like the vintage Lincoln Riley defense showed up in the worst way possible, and they just dropped this one on the road. What was your takeaway?
For me, I took a lot more away from Illinois from this game than I did from USC. Maybe that's just the OU in me that I know what I'm getting out of a Lincoln Riley team. And I think that what we saw with this Illinois team is, they let the team come back on them because the defense let off the gas and the offense let off the gas, frankly. And that's something that USC is always going to have a problem with when you have Lincoln Riley, the bitch out west over there coaching. Um, in my opinion, Altmaier was kind of, really clutch against USC, pulled it off, and I think that's just a testament to how this USC defense, no matter how many shiny, how many shiny cars you can get, that defense is still going to be like a rundown, mechanic shop. It's just it's never going to be good when you have Lincoln Riley up there. He doesn't know how to pick coordinators, and he doesn't know how to call a defense, and he doesn't know how to manage a game where they have a lead.
Yeah, no, that's proof right there for you, and he's just not learning his lessons. Good win for the Illini, and they continue to impress. Um, Look, man, I came into this Notre Dame Arkansas game thinking that like maybe this was going to be a good game, and boy, I could not have been more wrong. This was the easiest pick you had from your sports book. Going away, it was 42-13 at halftime. Notre Dame just kicking the piss out of Arkansas, and this cost Sam Pittman his job, and rightfully so. It's just embarrassing, and you have the talent to compete at a higher level than what you're showing on the field. We've seen it firsthand, and he's just not getting the job done. Unfortunate for Sam Pittman. But Arkansas, I don't blame you for going a different direction here, and it was just embarrassing for the SEC.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you're gonna let Notre Dame. What's the quarterback's name? Carr. I forget his first
CJ
name.
Carr, baby.
Um, yeah, CJ Carr. That's right. I mean, he goes insane
Yeah,
against this
in the
Arkansas
first
defense.
half.
354 yards, 4 touchdowns in the first half. I mean, it was disgusting how much he was carving up that defense. That was absolutely a massacre. And yeah, it cost Sam Pittman his job, and it's Bobby Petrino time, baby. What do
Get
you
on the
think?
motorcycle, baby.
Yeah, let's go, let's go.
Neck brace Bobby
This is
time.
this team, this team is gonna be back at 10 wins. And you
Oh,
know what? That's because we got Bobby Net Brace on the team.
that's right, baby. Press conferences have never been better. They're back. They're back in Fayetteville. But yeah, just embarrassing.
Like I said, we've never been more back.
Yeah, never been more back. The SEC has never been more back. BYU, Colorado. BYU gets a last second win on the road in Boulder. I thought, again, this is one of those games where you look at how good BYU's been playing and you think, Colorado doesn't stand a damn chance, and they just hang in there and hang in there. And BYU just looked so mid for 99% of this game. But they get the win when it matters. And I mean, are the Cougars a threat here for Big 12 championship, or are we discounting just kind of how bad Colorado is?
I don't know. Because
Hmm.
let me put it this way. I don't think BYU is a contender in the college football playoff whatsoever.
Yeah, didn't say
As in,
that.
I think they lose to whoever they're matched up against, unless it's possibly a group of five.
Yeah.
But does that mean they can win the Big 12? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, the Big 12 isn't very good. I don't know. It's getting to the point where you got to start thinking about, how much do we really value the Big 12 and winning the Big 12 in terms of the college football playoff? I mean, how much do we really care if, Texas Tech wins the Big 12, but their signature win is fucking Utah, right?
Yeah.
Like, I I don't know how I feel about that. It's a team that just doesn't hasn't been tested, and I don't think that's happening to BYU either. I don't feel like they're being tested. I mean, they beat Colorado not by much, and that's kind of concerning when you think about it. But you can't argue with 5-0. And then West Virginia, they beat them a little bit more comfortably, but still didn't look amazing doing it. I think, the quarterback's kind of carrying. He had 351 yards in the air against West Virginia. He had 98 rushing yards against Colorado. He can do it all, but there's just not a lot of talent, surrounding him. And I think that, in my opinion, BYU is, placed exactly where they should be in the top 25, right now in week 7 at, number 18. So I think that's a good spot. And I really just don't think that. I don't know. I can't agree with the concept that every conference champion should be in the playoff now. That's kind of how I
Mm.
feel about the BYU Texas Tech Big 12 situation. Like, I don't know if I consider it a power conference anymore, as I guess is what I'm going to say. Like, it just doesn't seem like there's a ton of talent there. When you're letting in teams like Houston into the mix, I think you're starting to get a little dicey. There's an obvious top and there's an obvious bottom, but even like the top of the Big 12, the top of the Big 12, it's not, I mean, they're not really competing with some of these, more mid-level teams that would be in like the SEC or the Big 10. Like, if you're telling me, you're taking, Texas Tech or BYU to beat Missouri? I don't know. Like, I don't think so. So that's kind of how I feel about the Big 12 right now. And BYU is a victim of that to me. But luckily, if they win the Big 12, they're in no matter what. So I think it's possible, but I still think it's probably Texas Tech and shit. I don't know, Iowa State,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
I
yeah,
guess it could be BYU,
that's what I'm saying. It's more of the second team to me
Arizona
right
State.
now. Yeah, all
Yeah,
three of those teams seem
like
to be vying for that second spot, right? That's kind of how it feels to me. Well, let's talk about the big dog, the big elephant in the room here. Um, Oregon Ducks. They go on the road, baby. They get it
yeah.
done in OT, baby. It happened. Drew Aller makes his only mistake of the game as he tries to throw the wheel route, and we were lurking and knew it was coming and picked that baby off with a 40-inch white boy vertical, baby. It was nice. And my takeaway from this game is one thing and one thing only. Dante Moore might be him. He might be him.
He might be him.
I mean, the composure, the windows he was fitting some of those balls in, the confidence he has in another freshman in Decorian Moore, who is fabulous, by the way, fabulous. And especially without Evan Stewart being healthy, just a fantastic win on the road. Zach, I know you had this as our only loss this season. With this out of the way, and not having to play
Yep.
Ohio State this year. I mean, except for possibly the Big Ten championship game,
Yep.
that seems to be
Yep.
the
Weapons.
collision course that we're on the move for. But what was your takeaway from just this unbiased third party perspective of this Oregon Penn State game?
I think they should be ranked number one. I really do. I think that Oregon is. I don't know. It's tough, but I think that Penn State's better than Texas, and I think that shows that to me is why Oregon should be ranked number one over Ohio State. Do I think that they're better than Ohio State? I don't know about that, but when we're talking about resume, I think Oregon has it. They go into Penn State whiteout, at night, prime time. That is literally the worst environment you can be in. Not to
Yeah,
mention the fact that they go to overtime and it gets even louder, and then they go into double overtime and it gets even louder. That stadium was rocking at an insane level, and I think we could feel it through the TV. I mean, so for Dante Moore to go in there and throw for 248 yards, three touchdowns, and deliver when he needed to in overtime, and then the defense comes in there and seals the deal. Don't be surprised if they're hoisting that trophy in January, man. Don't be surprised.
yeah, it's gonna really have to do with health and consistency, but that's what we need. And from the other side of the coin here, Zach, what does this mean for Penn State?
Yeah.
Because right now, and obviously immediately after the game, the aftermath was James Franklin can't get it done. I can't trust James Franklin anymore. I'm tired of listening to James Franklin talk about how good we are and how we do really well in big games. I'm tired of hearing it. It's a lie. It's a farce. And his buyout is $56 million. So I don't know if he's going anywhere, Zach. But they obviously aren't happy with him, and I think that their gripes are valid.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when let's they didn't they fall out of the top 25?
Um, I don't believe
Is that a thing that
so.
happened?
Well, I mean, we haven't gotten
I
to
think that
that.
just shows how everyone's feeling about him right now, right?
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that yet. Because the screaming did get louder next week. But yes, they did. They have fallen out. But we haven't gotten to that part yet. But we'll spoil it for you. It
Yeah.
doesn't get better for Penn State after this game. But after this game, though, Zach, what I'm saying is they were calling for his head then.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think they're, obviously they're justified now.
Yeah, yeah. But
But
even
I
then,
think that yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. They didn't play bad.
no, they
Like, it's
didn't. They
Oregon, and they
didn't.
went to double overtime, they lost by 6. They didn't play bad, but it's that next week that, obviously gets them
Yeah.
off, but,
Yeah. We'll get
um,
there.
Yeah. So
I mean, they came back
I
from
don't know, man.
14
I
down. I
think
mean,
that
it
if
looked.
you're gonna go, yeah, but if you're gonna go here from here and say like, okay, Penn State actually wasn't that good, I think that kind of negates a lot of what Oregon really did. I mean, that is a
Yeah,
great win. I think that's the best win in the
yeah.
country.
I mean,
So
let's. Okay, fine. Good jumping off point. Let's get into this then, because leading off into then, I think we broke this team. I think we broke Penn State. Like I think we broke them because then they go on the
yeah,
road and they are down 27-7 at halftime. Zach, at halftime, and yeah, sure, they only allowed 15 points the rest of the game and outscored them. You know, it was 30 to 15 or whatever. It wasn't enough, and they lose
yeah.
by 5. And now, obviously, from the Oregon game to this game, it's like, holy shit, what the hell is happening? The sky is falling. They're out of the top 25 now. They're just free falling right now, and they've got to pick up the pieces somehow and figure out how to get back on their feet, because that's almost inexcusable. Interim head coach for UCLA making Nico look like prime Tim Tebow, just running over people and going buku bananas on the ground. I mean, you better pray to God that you beat the crap out of Northwestern, because if you look bad against them at home, oh yeah, no, I think that $56 million becomes a little bit more of a, hey, let's start a GoFundMe because we need to raise this money now.
So yeah, I mean, let's talk about it, right? UCLA was 0-3. I know 0-4. They were
Yeah,
0-4 going into this game.
yeah.
They had lost to Utah 43-10.
They lost to
They had lost to
Northwestern.
UNLV 30-23. They lost to New Mexico 35-10, and then they lose to, you guessed it, Northwestern 17-14. And then they beat Penn State 42-37 for their first win of the season. Oh my God. James. Oh, James. Oh no.
Oh, no.
I mean, how much worse would this have looked if they had beaten Oregon? That is an inexcusable loss. UCLA is bad. They're bad.
I mean,
Oregon
but
broke them.
but
It happened. Oregon broke them.
the other theory could be that after UCLA fired their head coach, the scheme changed, and this is what it should have been for the first, however many games. I mean, that's a possibility as well. We'll have to see how UCLA's season progresses, because of course Nico over the weekend saying we still want, 8. We want to win the rest of our games. We want to go 8-4 here and finish strong. Um, and the thing is if they play that way, there's nobody left on their schedule that they probably can't beat, except for hopefully us. Um, if we play them, which we don't. But they've got Michigan State, Maryland, they got Indiana, Nebraska, they got Ohio State, Washington, USC. I mean, you could go 7-6, or sorry, you could go 6-6. But I feel like that's probably the ceiling is 6-6. They're going bowling, I think, but it's not gonna be. It's gonna be an early bowl game.
I don't know.
That's if they play the way they played last week. That's if they play that well.
Yeah, I'm
It,
not. I just don't believe in them at all. I just don't know if they even win 6. I'm gonna be so honest. They just looked so bad.
but
They
not.
look so bad.
But again, you have to admit that everything had changed. They changed literally everything about the way they were attacking teams offensively. They were utilizing Nico differently because they weren't being held back by their head coach. And if this is the way that they're
Well, I
going
think
to
that
look,
makes it worse, honestly.
it makes it worse for Penn State, yes. But I'm saying it makes their chances of being able to get to those 6 wins a lot more improved in my estimation. If this is what we have to look forward to, if this was what was being held back, if that offensive production is what we should expect on a week to week basis, then yeah, they will do it.
Oh, you were talking about UCLA making a
Yes,
bowl game? I was talking about Penn
yes.
State.
Oh no, I'm talking about UCLA. Penn State. Yeah, no, they're making the Big Ten championship game, baby. They're going all the way. No, I I was talking about UCLA. That's what I was talking about.
I mean, let's see. I mean, Penn State, they got what? They got
Penn State's got
3 wins. They need 3 more.
Yeah, they got Northwestern, Iowa. They got Michigan State, Nebraska. I mean, they got Rutgers on here. Rutgers. I mean, they at least got 3 wins on here.
Yeah,
They got 3
You
wins on
think
here.
you would think, but Northwestern beat UCLA. You would think that they win that game, but now you don't know. Transitive property says
Now
Northwestern
you
beats Penn
don't.
State.
That's what I'm saying. Like it might be if they lose tomorrow. I mean, you have to publicly.
He's fired. He's fired.
No, you have to publicly guillotine him. You have to guillotine him outside of
100%.
you have to. His bald head has to be rolling down Happy Valley. It has to be rolling down that valley. I mean, there's no way he survives if they do something like that.
No, you lose to Northwestern, it's cooked. He might already be cooked at the end of the
Well,
season,
and
but I think losing to Northwestern
at
makes
home,
it happen then.
yeah, losing to Northwestern at home, by the way, at home. Yeah, you would have to kill him. You'd have to kill him.
Holy trap game.
You have to kill him. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. We're keeping a real strong eye because the fact of the matter is, Zach, is you look at the way they're thinking right now as far as in Vegas, they don't really trust Penn State at all, and I don't blame them. I mean, 21.5 seems pretty low for me. I might take Northwestern plus the points here, but we'll see. Again, I think it's one of those where they could come out really pissed off and really be like, okay, that was just really us reeling from that Oregon loss, and we're back now. I mean, that's a possibility, but this is a big one. You're right, holy trap game. You're right, holy trap game. And speaking of trap game, the swamp, baby, the swamp. Texas loses on the road in the swamp, 29-21. Look, we said it.
Yes, they did.
We said it. Florida's a 5-17. This team is not good. Nobody listened to us. But we said, hey, we get the swamp as a tough place to play. And did we think Texas was going to be as mid as they are, which I think is fair to say right now? No. If we had thought that this was the Texas team we were going to get preseason, we might have circled this as a loss for Texas. I'm not even going to lie. But boy, this is one of those where DJ Lagway looked like what people expected him to look like preseason. You got good production from all 3 facets, running back and wide receiver room. And Texas's defense looked really bad, but their offensive line looked really bad against Florida State's defensive front, and that does not bode well for them tomorrow.
How bad is this OUD line about to eat?
Oh, it's gonna be
Texas offensive line.
It's gonna be scrumptious.
They have to be better. They have to be better. You're talking about a defensive line that is miles ahead of Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to say that just straight up. If you think Florida's D-line 8 last week against Texas, OU's about to literally have a feast. And it could be double-digit sack time again if they're not careful. But yeah,
I mean, I'm thinking like David Stone might have 3 sacks. Jaden Jackson might have 3 sacks. Like, this is going to be nasty.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about OU, and this is kind of the first time this has happened in quite some time, Zach, I think you can agree with this. You're getting pressure with just 4. Like, it's been a while since you've been able to say that. Let's not lie. It's been a minute since you've been like, yeah, we get pressure with our front 4. Like, it's been a while. It's been a while. You haven't been having to send that extra guy to get there, and that's also huge because even if they do a better job, you send that extra guy. It's Jover, baby. It's Jover. R. Mason Thomas off the edge. It's over. It's donezo. I think the Arch Manning experience is going about as expected, in my opinion. I didn't really. I mean, you have to understand, and people keep forgetting this, Zach. He's their nephew. He's not. He's the blood relation is not something that you can really tie into this because he's the nephew of Peyton and Eli. He's not their son. He's not their brother. The only thing he has as far as access is looking to see his uncles and how they prep for stuff and kind of their the way they read defenses and stuff. He can definitely pick their brain on that. But as far as, genetically inherited athletic ability, he's got none of theirs. And it shows the level of competition
it's not like they have a ton either.
No, but I'm saying it shows that the level of competition he played in high school, which I think would be equivalent to like 2A, 1A high school ball here down in Texas, me and you could have looked as good as he looked in a uniform if we had the kind of players that he had by him looking like, a college team just beating up on middle school teams every week. I mean, we would have gotten offers.
I mean, let's be honest. Okay, like one where where Arch Manning played football was not the best. Like you put him in Texas, he's getting cooked. But honestly, if you really go back and watch the tape, he wasn't that good in high school. He really just wasn't. And like he had some highlights, yeah, but like if you go back and really watch the tape, if you watch a full Arch Manning high school game, it's just not there.
It doesn't pop for you.
Yeah, you start to realize like, yeah, he might have been the number one recruit, but then you start to realize why all of the quarterback camps were saying, Jetson Arnold's actually better than him.
Yeah,
Um,
because he is.
and all other quarterbacks in his class, there were like he finished, at the fucking like Manning elite camp. He wasn't even the MVP. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it just shows you how much weight the name carried, like how much lifting it did for him, right? Like that, it was nepotism to like the highest extent. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I mean, I think it was like,
Yeah,
I think they
yeah.
just
There's
saw
nothing wrong with
Manning,
that.
and it's like, yeah, I mean, I think they just see Manning, and they start,
Drooling, yeah.
putting expectation, and I feel bad for the kid. I
Oh
really
yeah, no,
do
you
because
feel
like I
bad, yo,
think,
you feel bad. I don't feel good about it. If his last name was
yeah, and
Smith,
like I don't, I
we'd be like, oh, this is just another Sam Ellinger, or this is just another Hudson Card. Like we wouldn't be talking.
no, like he
We would be asking the question, why can't Texas recruit quarterbacks? We'd be asking that question again.
I mean, and we're talking about a guy that's getting paid like $4 million,
Oh,
and
don't tell him
by
that.
Texas,
Don't let
like
him know. Don't let him know.
and he and it's all because of the hype, and I think even he probably realized like he's not as good as the hype says he is, and you didn't really ever see him against elite competition. He didn't look bad when he came in for Quinn, but usually that's because he was coming in because they were already beating the hell out of the team. So they
Exactly.
mean they were already playing bad competition. And then when you look at Texas this year, I mean, they don't have a win against a Power Four team. They've played two of them. They've lost to Ohio State, which acceptable, very acceptable loss, and then you lose to Florida. That becomes a little bit more unacceptable.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I think I don't necessarily blame Manning for the loss to Florida. But that O line was the main reason. But Manning didn't necessarily look good either.
No. No, you're right. You're right. Look, after Mississippi State hung in there with Tennessee the way they did, Zach, they dropped an egg on the road in College Station. 31-9. This game
Yeah,
wasn't close at all. Um, I mean, look, Marcel Reed will never be a good quarterback in my eyes. He's very athletic and I think he's decent, but he's not special. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't like his stats don't pop out at you. He doesn't pop out at you on tape. Like he just doesn't, in my opinion. But they
yeah.
should have beat Mississippi State this bad. They did. I feel like this is what Tennessee should have done, and they couldn't get it done. And I think that just kind of proves how advantageous those cowbells are, right? I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to, right?
I think so.
Um,
I think so. I mean, I think
yeah,
that's a real home field advantage.
yeah. I think it's one of the realest, especially when they're not terrible. Um, this was another one that everyone was circling. This was going on the same time I was sitting inside the shoe. Florida State, Miami, 14-3 at halftime in favor of the Hurricanes. They end up going up 28-3 in the third quarter, but then allow 19 points in the fourth to make it a little more of a squeaker. I mean, to me, Zach, as high as I've been on Miami, I kind of agree with you. I wasn't impressed with how they finished this game, and it kind of led me to believe that Mario Cristobal was kind of going back to his old ways of kind of letting it too loose in that final quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you start seeing these things repeatedly, it really tells you about a coach, and you see what happened against Georgia Tech last year, right?
Yep.
Was that 2 years ago? Damn. Uh,
He's had some doozies every year.
yeah, he just continues to let this happen, and they just take their foot off the gas, and that's what happened in this game. And he got lucky that Florida State, you know, isn't as good as they should be.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I just don't see this as the number two team in the country. I don't see how the voters are putting them above Oregon. I could
yeah.
see them putting them above Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. I don't see how they put them above Oregon. I really don't.
I
I
think
don't know
this.
what, like, because this is their signature win, right? You're talking about Florida State. is their signature win, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you could make that argument. Yeah, that's definitely for sure. I mean, it's not. It's. I mean, it could be Notre Dame. I mean, you could still float that. Um,
Yeah, but we don't really know that yet.
yeah, I mean, we don't. I mean, but the thing is it's like they have wins against three ranked teams: South Florida, Notre Dame, and Florida State, and we've only got a ranked win against one team. And we'll have two if we win this weekend. So I kind of understand on that level, but that's the only excuse they have. Like I agree. Eye test
Well, it's because
wise,
they're not watching the games. I
yeah, that's
mean,
what I'm saying. Eye test
yeah,
wise,
they're
we
not
look
watching the
better,
game.
but if you're not watching the games, resume wise, they're above us. I can understand that. Especially like I said, these are casual voters. We had people that were voting Florida to be above South Florida after losing to them. I mean, we don't know what these people are dumb. Like we know that they don't really watch these games. So I can understand why it is that way, but I do agree it should not be that way. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't. I can't understand. I'll never understand how these people get votes.
I mean, we should get votes. Somebody petition. Somebody call them and
No,
let them
like
know.
literally just people that watch the games, please.
Yeah,
Or at the very, very least, go back and watch the condensed
yeah, Josh Pate
film.
save us. Pate State save us.
Josh Pate save us.
Um,
I mean, like that guy. I disagree with some of his takes, but that guy cares and he watches the games.
yep, yep, and that's all we can ask for. That's all we can ask for the voters, and we don't get that. Ohio State and Oklahoma combined to beat their opponents 86-3. Nothing to really take away from this. I know you said that you weren't really impressed with Michael Hawkins' 162 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 10 completions. I can understand that. You kind of touched on that earlier. I don't think there's really much to take away from either of these games. I went to the Ohio State game and they looked as good as advertised with the eye test. And Minnesota looked really bad. I can see why they lost to Cal, and I was really hoping they were going to be undefeated coming into this game. They did have a chance to do that if they could have beat the Golden Bears, but couldn't get the job done. And I'm glad they weren't because it would have definitely been a letdown. But I was glad I went. The weather was nice, and Julian Sand cooked. He had 4 incompletions, 3 touchdowns, and threw for over 326 yards.
God damn.
I mean, just a very efficient night from what you're saying is probably a Heisman candidate for sure right now. He's playing efficient enough and winning games, and he's on the top team in the country, so he should be definitely considered. But I think that pretty much wraps up some of the top teams. Georgia beat Kentucky. Zach, did that do anything for you? Didn't do anything for me. Um,
Nope.
Texas Tech over Houston just beat the tar out of them. Anything there to take away?
Yep.
No.
Not really.
We did have Vanderbilt, Alabama, where Vanderbilt and Alabama were tied at 14 at halftime, but just a really bad second half from Diego Pavia and the offense for Vandy, and they just couldn't get the job done. I mean, Vanderbilt, I mean, how do you feel about them after losing this game? You think that, I mean, obviously, I don't think me and you went into this game thinking they were going to win it. But did they look like a team that could maybe sneak into some sort of special situation, or is this 5-1 Vanderbilt team just gonna fall apart here as the season goes on?
I don't know if they fall apart, but they're definitely going to lose a couple more games.
Yeah, I mean they got LSU and Missouri the next two
Yeah.
games. I mean that's a rough one. Then you got Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, and Tennessee to follow. I mean it's not. I mean the easy games are done for them. So I mean that was a big
Yeah, I mean, I think we
measuring.
saw who they. I think we saw who they are. We saw who they are against Alabama.
Yeah,
That's
they're a
that's
two.
who
Yeah.
Vandy is, and they're not bad. I'm not saying they're bad.
No. The bowl team for sure.
They're respectable. They're like Auburn to me. I think they're an Auburn level team.
Okay, I like that. That's a good comparison. Um, Cincinnati upsets Iowa State at home 38-30. Matt Campbell, what are you doing? This is why you say the Big 12 is so wide open, Zach. It's results like this that continue to just make the Big
Yep.
12 look mid.
100%.
Michigan over Wisconsin. They needed some touchdowns late. I've been really unimpressed with Bryce Underwood, but he threw for 270. I mean, 9 incompletions. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin's bad, right?
I think Wisconsin's bad. I like Bryce Underwood. I think he had a really tough game against OU earlier in the season, but I think he's starting to find it. And he's 18.
Yeah,
He's got another year at the
yeah.
very least. I think he has at least 2 years. I
Two.
don't
Yeah,
I don't remember how the
Remember
rules
juniors.
are.
You have to be a junior. Um,
It's ridiculous.
um, Boise State, Notre Dame. My boy. Oh, Maddox Madsen, four picks, baby. It was a bad day for you. And they only lost by 21, which kind of shows you just how bad Arkansas played because Boise State threw 4 picks and they still only lost by 21. You were down 42-13 at halftime. Like, come on. I mean, yeah, you had to fire Sam Pittman. This is just further proof.
Yeah, 100%. That team it might be dog shit.
It's bad.
We're talking about a respectable program.
Yeah, it should be. It should be a better program than what it is. Illinois beats Purdue 43 to
Bring back the Big 8.
27 to bring back the Big Eight is right. Look, I mean, Luke Altmaier is balling, dog. Only 3 incompletions, and you threw for 390 yards. You are a dog. My boy is cooking. And look, I get that they lost a game, and it happens. It's Illinois. You're not gonna have some days where you play as well as you should. And definitely crapped the bed when you played against Indiana. I mean, 53-point loss is just embarrassing. And you have Ohio State. I mean, this is kind of your chance, right, Zach? This is your chance to prove that 53-point loss was not something that's going to continue. I mean, how do you feel about betting Ohio State to cover?
Oh, who are they playing? I couldn't.
Illinois, Illinois, Illinois.
Ohio State, Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, after Illinois loses
the spread's
to
3.5.
yeah, and Illinois just lost to Indiana by 53. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the line seems pretty low to me.
You said the spread was 3.5.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Let me look.
Yeah, I'm taking Ohio State to triple that.
Where is the games at? Where is the games at?
Yeah, that's my stuff's not
Cox is
loaded very well.
Cox is cooking us right. We've almost gone full Amish this episode.
Yeah, they're doing something in the Oklahoma City area. It's not something's going on.
Yeah, we've almost gone full Amish, like I said. Yeah, I think the spread is like super mid here. Let me pull it up. It's low.
I'm getting it, but I'm starting to lose you a little bit.
I know it's bad. It's I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
But the good thing is like on OBS, like we're chilling right now, getting everything. Bad as Discord is being, recording's going.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound bad like it would.
Okay, so the spread's 14.5.
Okay, I mean, I still say double it.
I would take. I'm so serious. I'm double it. Yeah.
I mean, if you lose by 53 to Indiana, like what the hell is Ohio State gonna do to you? But no, it might be low. I mean, just because of how Illinois plays Ohio State in the past. I mean, it could probably be a 10-point win. I wouldn't be surprised. Virginia beat Louisville. That's the last game we have is Virginia Louisville. They keep winning. Virginia keeps winning. So 30 to 27. And Louisville, that's a rough loss for Louisville against Virginia, but Virginia continues to win, and the ACC kind of continues to tighten up for that again, kind of the second place spot here. You have Louisville, Virginia, Florida State. You've got a lot of teams that are vying for that second spot. All you have left is Miami.
Try that again.
Because all you have is Miami. So I mean, like they're every one of those teams is vying for the second spot. They're all fighting for that second spot in the ACC to play Miami. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. It could be Virginia.
Yeah, it could be. That's what I'm saying. It very well could be. And that is the Week 5, Week 6 recap. We got through that pretty solid. Go ahead and tell us about John Mateer and Dr. Shin, because I was hearing that there was no chance my man John Mateer was going to play. Moneyline Mateer looks like he's ready to give the bettors what they want, and that's a close, if not a victory, for OU as they play Texas at 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern in the Cotton Bowl. Please enlighten us about the fantastic news.
Well, he's probable. I'm trying to see if we have any more updates, but um, Dr. Shin is the goat, right? I mean, you got to say it. I'm still worried. Like I'm worried that he's still not. I know he's not 100%. That's not a question. Like he's
Yeah.
obviously not going to be 100%. I need him to be 85%, and I'm kind of worried that he's not.
Yeah.
That-
I
That's
mean,
that's how I feel about it. I'm not necessarily. We talked about this earlier. I'm not necessarily opposed to if he's not looking good,
hold on.
if he starts grabbing that thumb or something after a throw, you pull him, and I'm okay with losing the game if we pull him, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I think you got to make that decision early. You do. You got to decide if you're going to let him either re-injure it or if you're just going to pull him the second that he, looks at it. So it's iffy. I think it's a dicey situation. I think we're looking at a low scoring game tomorrow. I think it's going to be a big defensive matchup because as much as Texas has not looked amazing, right, this year, that defense is still extremely talented. That defense still held Ohio State to only 14 points. They kind of fell apart against Florida, not going to lie. But I think this is going to be a question of which defense lets up. And I think Texas defense is more likely to let up than Oklahoma's defense. I personally think that Oklahoma has the best defense in the country. Most people would say Ohio State. I think if you're not saying Ohio State, you're probably saying Oklahoma has the best defense in the country. And uh, I don't know, man. I'm nervous. I think it's going to be like a 21-14 kind of game. I think it's going to be real dicey. But it's Red River, so
Yeah. Anything can
especially
happen.
in the last decade or so, 5 years last decade, like these games have been close
Yeah. They've been nipping tough.
lately. I mean, we're talking about 2021 and 2020, it was like quadruple overtime. 2021, that was one of the best games I've ever seen in 2021. 2023 with the Dylan Gabriel pass to Nick Anderson in the end zone. I mean, these games have been close for the most part. Obviously, you have the years where OU was decimated,
Yeah.
um, by injuries, like 34-3 last year. I don't know how much you can count that one with it being basically a backup in the game, so many injuries, and then you have like the 49-0 shutout, which obviously is terrible, no matter what. But you got to remember, like that's Davis Bevel and Braden Willis playing quarterback, who normally plays tight end. I mean that those games I don't think are really competitive Red River rivalry games, Red River shootout games, and I think this one can be. I still think that Texas is a talented team. I really do. I think they've just been poorly coached, and I think that if Sark is on his game, then they could, come out of here with the win, even if John Mateer plays. But I'm gonna go ahead and take OU. We can make our picks right now if you want. Now that I've finished my OU rant. Um, OU is favored by 1.5 right now on DraftKings, and
Yeah.
this is obviously coming after the Mateer news. Haven't seen anything else about Mateer, so we're probably going to get like an official confirmation tomorrow,
Yeah.
before the game,
If he's throwing
because
in
he's still listed
warm-ups,
as
it's over.
probable.
Yeah.
But he's still listed as probable on today's availability report. Um, and the only person that's out for Texas is CJ Baxter, which is tough for them. There's actually Keontae Lewis, surprisingly, is questionable
Mm.
after taking that horrible dive into the brick wall
Bricks.
because
Yeah.
of Michael Hawkins. But OU has some offensive linemen out: Troy Everett, Jacob Sexton, Jake Taylor. Those are going to hurt
Yep.
a little bit. So we'll see what Texas defensive line can do right there. Um, it seems like let me throw out a conspiracy. Could John Mateer be playing with us injury wise to manipulate the spread? We know
Ooh,
his
he
tendencies.
is the money line man.
We
He is the money line man,
we know
baby.
he had to have taken the +3.5 on OU when that line first came out. He had to have taken it. Oh.
Strong possibility here.
That's
Check the Venmo.
I'm gonna
Check
take
the
OU to
Venmo. Check the
cover.
Venmo.
I'm gonna take OU to cover the. I'm taking OU to cover the 1.5.
Okay,
The
we'll
total is 44.5.
under
So
for that. All right. Well, oh shit.
I
NFL
think I
stuff.
lost you.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I went in and out there. NFL talk. Let's kind of run through it real quick. Lamar Jackson continues to be hurt. Cooper Rush again will start this week. Chance for the Baltimore Ravens to be 1-5 if they lose this weekend. Zach, falling apart there in Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, not having Lamar Jackson makes it really tough to score on offense, but more importantly, you're talking about Derrick Henry, right? Derrick Henry just has looked absolutely dog shit, except for
Or
that first week. So I don't
yeah,
really know what to look for in there. I almost traded some valuable pieces for him in fantasy after like that third week
yeah.
where he was looking bad 2 weeks in a row. Because I'm like, he's gonna be fine.
He didn't.
Like, he's gonna be fine.
He hasn't been
You know?
fine. He's been ruining my ability to win fantasy games for sure. 49ers are going to have to start Mac Jones again. And no Ricky Pearsall for Mac Jones to throw to, so that's a big hit to 49ers because that was his favorite target when he was starting last week. So another big hit to the quarterback room there. 49ers, though, they're going to be fine, right? I mean, we've got, I mean, it's got to get through this rough patch, right?
Yeah, yeah, they'll be all right. I don't
Um,
have much to say about the Niners, honestly. That's just such a tough team to judge right now.
Yeah. Shedeur Sanders backing up DG, baby, as Dylan Gabriel, a starting quarterback again for the Cleveland Browns against the Steelers this weekend.
Just the way we drew it up.
Yep, DG get his
That's
first.
our baby boy out there.
Yeah, DG get a win this
That's our
week.
baby boy out
Can
there,
he
you know?
get? They predicting a DG win on the road?
That's what I want.
That's what I'm gonna
What a guy.
Seahawks down 3 DBs against the Jags this week, so that looks like good news for Trevor Lawrence. Uh, Miles Sanders season-ending surgery for the Dallas Cowboys. Don't care.
Well, who gives a fuck?
Okay, didn't think so. That's pretty much it, except
Yeah,
for
Jaden Blue. Congrats.
yeah, except for Joe Flacco being traded from the Browns. That's why Dylan Gabriel was starting. Getting traded from the Browns
Yeah.
to the Bengals, who pick up Joe Flacco to try to fill the void while Joe Burrow continues to be out. I just thought it was kind of weird, Zach, to choose Joe Flacco when you have so many options. In my opinion, that would be better, especially for a line that is just so bad at protecting the passer.
You mean you're surprised they took Joe Flacco? I mean, I think outside of the mobility issues, I think it's like why you're not going to be competitive, right? And I think this is the similar question to what a lot of people were saying with Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, although obviously the reverse has worked out for Indianapolis. But it's like, why would you play if you're the Indianapolis Colts and imagine that we're in the preseason, not knowing what we know now, not knowing that they're balling out now, right?
Yeah.
Like Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson QB1, what's the reality that we're making the Super Bowl with either of them? Very, very low. What's the reality we make the playoffs with either of them? Pretty low. So why not play Anthony Richardson and see if he can figure it out, see if he can get better when you know what you're getting out of Daniel Jones, right? You know he has a pretty low ceiling, if we're being honest, and a pretty low floor as well. So I think similarly about the Browns, right? Because I'm thinking like, why would you play Joe Flacco when you have like Dylan Gabriel, when you have Shador Sanders that you could develop? And in terms of like the Bengals, I don't know. Fuck it. Like, I guess they want him dead. I
Yeah,
don't
that's what I'm
know.
saying. Like
Like,
you're trying to
there's not
kill.
much you
It's
can do.
elder abuse. It's
Like,
elder
there's not much
abuse.
they can do. Like, if I'm personally, I would have I would have got Jameis Winston.
That's what I'm saying. Drew Lock is out there. Bring him home.
I would have went and got Jameis Winston if you can.
I mean, Kirk Cousins is out there. You know, somebody want to get Kirk Cousins out of Atlanta. Someone save
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins. No one wants to pay the
Go
man.
get Russell Wilson. He's there.
Oh God, don't do it. It's not the answer. It's
Don't do it.
It's not the answer. He's so bad. Someone get Tua. Go get Tua. He's ready to leave. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it for NFL, which means it's time to head to the sports book, baby. I'm ready to get cooked. It's sportsbook time. Get those calculators out. It's time to get ugly. All right, let's just give you the lowdown here. Coming into this week,
We're getting sexy.
we were looking really sad. I'm trying to get some wins on the board. I got a couple wins. Zach got a couple wins. Zach took a couple hits. I took a lot of hits. We both go 2-4. It was ugly, baby, but we get some wins. Zach gets a lock of the week win. That's a big one. He gets Notre Dame -4.5 over Arkansas. Big time winner. I lose both my locks because I suck. I had USC -7 and Georgia -2.5. Straight up losers. And Zach had Tennessee -7.5. Mississippi State could not get it done. They win just by 7. Need one more point. That was kind of how the week went. A lot of losers to go along with that. Bottom line is, Zach has 20 big ones to play with. I got 30 big ones to play with. And we got 6 games. So we got a problem. We're going to try to solve it. Zach, for your first game, go ahead. Give me the lowdown.
Yeah, so I mean, you know where we're going. You know where we're going. We're
We-
going to OU
oh.
-1.5. We're taking that.
Oh,
You know we're taking it.
minus
You
the
know we're
1.5.
taking it.
All right, out of the 20, how much you want to
Yeah.
put on there?
Can I be crazy real quick?
Yeah, be crazy.
Putting $10 on
Oh
it.
baby, we are going 2 all the way down. All right, I like it. $10.
I'm confident.
He likes it. He says Boomasuna. I, for my first game, am gonna go with my home team as well. We are going with Oregon -7 at home against the Indiana Hoosiers. We take care of business. We take care of frauds at home. Indiana's a fraud. We will prove it to you. We will prove it to you with extra work. This is not a 1-touchdown win. This is a 3-touchdown win. Indiana is a fraud. I love you, Kurt Signetti. Please come to Stillwater, but this is where the bus stops for the Indiana Cinderella train. Welcome to Autzen Stadium. You're about to get cooked, boys. Give me 10 on the Oregon Ducks to beat the Hoosiers by 7. Zach, your second game.
Hoosiers. I'm going to go right with you here, but I'm just going to take something that I think is definitely going to hit, in my opinion. I'm going to take the over on the total here, 53.5.
Yeah, I
think
like that.
This Oregon Indiana game is going to be full of offense, not a ton of defense. I think Indiana's going to surprise the Oregon defense. So give me the over on 53.5.
The 2:30 window is stacked, baby. We have offense in one game and defense in another.
The fact that these games are on at the same time is criminal.
Yeah, I agree. Another game.
We'll be multi-viewing it, that's for sure.
That's right, multi-view. Right up. So $2 on the.
And I want you to know this.
over.
I need you to know this.
Yeah.
No, I need you to know this.
Yeah.
I've never multi-viewed a game along with Red River, so
Hey,
that's how much I want to see this Indiana Oregon game.
That's right, baby. It's special. It's special. You know what was really special? How bad Washington State is. Give me Ole Miss -31.5. I love it. Give me Ole Miss -31.5. Washington State is poo-poo pee-pee. They got beat by 50 by North Texas, and they didn't score a point. So I'm pretty sure Ole Miss can cover the 31.5. If they don't, it'll be the saddest thing ever, and I will definitely be off the lane train. And Ole Miss will be labeled frauds if they don't cover this. Boy, I got 20 left in 5 games. Let's put 4 on that boy. $4 on Ole Miss to cover. Zach, your third game.
Yes, so I'm putting $2 on all these. The rest of mine here, but
Yep.
I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something a little interesting here, and I think I'm going to take North Carolina State to cover against Notre Dame, 22.5.
I like it. That's a good pick. I like that pick a lot. I was looking at that and I was going, NC State, baby. They've beat some teams. I like it. So NC State plus the 22.5. Is that what you said?
Yep.
All right, I got it down. That is his third game. I'm going deep, baby. We're going deep for game number 3. And where am I going, you might add? I'm going for another bopper. Give me the Houston Cougars minus 14.5 against the Oklahoma State Cowboys on the road. The Cowboys starting a safety at quarterback this week. Sam Jackson V will be your starting quarterback. How bamboozled did Oklahoma State get to where now you don't even have a quarterback playing quarterback that you recruited as a quarterback? Just shambles.
100%. Sorry, there's a little shit talk going on in our fantasy. I had to address that.
Yeah.
Yeah, people thinking that they got shit to say. By the way, people, number one in the league. I'm just saying. I'm
hammering.
I drafted Adbuka. That's how it is.
Yeah, that'll help you out a lot.
I'm gonna go to Alabama, Missouri here. I'm gonna take Alabama to cover, or to not cover. I'm gonna take them. Well, yeah, to cover the 3. They're gonna beat them by more than 3.
Alabama minus 3 against the Tigers of Missouri. If I can effing find it. There it is. Hey, nope, that's son of a. Okay. I'm telling you, I'm losing my mind over here. Is that an early game? Is that an 11 o'clock kick?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's why it's a. I'm all the way at the freaking bottom, baby. All right, Alabama minus 3. Got it. It's on the board. $2 attached to it if it will load for me. My next game, look, baby, it's happening, and I'm not afraid to say it. Give me Pittsburgh money line. The Panthers over the Seminoles on the road. I love it. It's a great spot for the Pitt Panthers to beat the Seminoles at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Strap in, Florida State fans. It gets worse. You got 2 left.
Yeah, I'll throw you something crazier.
Okay, throw me something crazier. Because I thought that was pretty out there.
Maybe this isn't as crazy. I'm going to throw 2 crazy ones at you, actually.
Okay,
so my first crazy one.
Give me first crazy.
Arkansas's playing Tennessee.
They are. You are
Tennessee.
Yes, on the road at the Rockies.
Give me the Arkansas money line.
Woo! Woo pig suey, baby. Woo pig suey. Holy, you know what? I love it. I love it. You know, I didn't like how Tennessee looked last week. Didn't like it. It was rough. You know where I'm headed? You'll never guess where I'm headed, because this might be the easiest pick of the week. When I say easiest pick, I mean I'm talking they are just giving this one away, baby. Georgia minus 4 over Auburn. Wipe the floor with these scrubs. Give me the Bulldogs to cover, putting 4 big ones on that one. Georgia minus 4. Your last one.
Oh, that's a crazy one here.
Oh my gosh, we're going crazy, baby.
I'm so crazy.
Ooh, he's crazy.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. The Kansas Jayhawks go into Texas Tech and they beat them. Kansas money line.
Kansas money line. Rock Hawk Jayhawk. Oh,
Jayhawk,
he's
baby.
Trying to channel the old Big 8. He says Arkansas and Kansas pick up a W this weekend. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And is that a night game too? It is. It's a 6:30 night game. I like it. I like the pick. I like it a lot. And that right there, my friends, $20 to win $6,000. I like it. I like my odds. I like my odds. Give me Andrew Jackson and lay the money on the line, baby. I'm ready to hit a big one. Great slip here from Mr. Huffman. My last pick. Boys, I don't think you're ready for this one. This one is actually not very crazy, but it's up there. It's up there in entertainment value you won't find anywhere else. Give me. Oh boy. I mean, give me Iowa State minus 2.5 on the road in Boulder, rebounding from a loss Give me Matt Campbell to make things right. I think Matt Campbell gets right on the road. -2.5 Iowa State. Book it. And that's where my last $4 will go. And that right there, folks, is your Week 7 C0ner Sports book. Zach, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Nothing I can say besides Boomer Sooner. Whoa, pig suey, baby.
Woo Pig Suey, Rock Hawk Jayhawk. And
I got Jay.
and go Panthers. Go
Hot job, baby.
Panthers. Go Panthers. The Pitt Panthers. It's your weekend, baby. Party on. Good luck to all the bettors. Good luck to all the listeners with your bets. We're trying to get a winning weekend. This could be it. Zach could hit the big one this week. He's feeling it, and I like the picks.
I'm feeling it.
He's
How
feeling
crazy would it be if this one hits? This like all 6 hit, and it has the fucking Arkansas and Kansas money line in there.
Oh, I would be living. I mean, even if you only get that part right,
how much money am I winning?
$6,000 on $20.
Yeah, that's easy work.
Yeah, geez, that's lightweight. That's lightweight. You want to put real money on that?
That's
you do it.
I get that shit all the time.
Yeah, that's lightweight.
People don't know. I do that shit all the time. They don't know.
They don't know.
I mean, I sent you one the other day. I won $13,000 on a $5 slip on Australian rugby.
See,
y'all don't know
that, but that's on that's if you subscribe to the service, right? That's only if you subscribe to the service. You're not just giving those.
No, it's because I paid the reps, but yeah,
you're not giving it away in the Discord or anything. That's you have to pay for the premium service to get those numbers, get those lines.
No, I'm not giving away those. Honestly, I'm never giving away those slips.
Oh, hey, you know what? Selfish. I like it. That's a very American of you. Very American of you. All right, my man. Well, appreciate you coming on. I'll be thinking about you. I'll be locked in. We'll both be locked in. I'm sure we'll be messaging back and forth since both of our games will be going on at the same time. Crime. It's a crime. Someone help us. Police help. Somebody please, police help. It shouldn't happen this way, but whatever. At least we get game day. I mean, hooray. I'm so excited for Indiana game day. Pew. All right. Well, take it easy. Keep stick on the ice. Remember, everybody. Good night, Canada.
Good night, Canada.